Seaflow, Joe, and me, veterans we three, served voluntarily. And this here be our community success story.
Transition. Tango, Romeo, Alpha, November, Sierra, India, Tango, India, Oscar, November.
Transition. Movement, development, or evolution from one form, stage, or style to another. Transition. A vet is born when one steps from military life to civilian. The DAV is a labyrinth of services to 22 million. 22 mil and counting, finding their way through the maze of bureaucratic red tape, pseudo-military landscape. You know how this shit constipates. It's anything but easy. Fortunately for these bees, they've got a laundry list of strengths to draw from. Mission-oriented to get the job done, real-world experience that's proven. Group-first mindset, not stuck in number one. Team player. They can lead, follow, or get the
Hold up.
out the way to accomplish the task of the day. Trained in self-care, always got to be aware of yourself, your squad, and surroundings. They can work in silos, they can work in grupos.
So there's 22 million individuals trying to gain access to the benefits they serve to earn, and in some cases paid into. Just trying to get their due. By knowing who to talk to and which hoops to jump through, that's where you can get screwed. You gotta know how to network, son. Each one, reach one. Share what you know, point the way to go.
Vets.
Victor, Echo, Tango. Victor. Victor ended active service, EAS, in '08. I thought life outside was just great. I learned how to reintegrate to civilian life. I was on my own to do as I pleased. Uncle Sam wasn't paying my cheese to cut my hair, shave my face, back into the rat race. And on the downside, civilians don't have to do what I say as my subordinates once did, but on the up, I can tell them to pound sand if I don't like what they're selling. My success on the outside, he said, is in part due to the strong ties to other vets. My community of sisters and brothers share a bond like no other. We talk through our problems, share what we know, like where to go for this care or where to go for that fare, or how to get the GI Bill to work. My success, with the help of the VA, I finished my degree at Portland State in psychology, and now I'm trying to find someone to hire me at a wage I can live on. With proven leadership and complex project management skills and a keen eye for detail, and hell, I'm even working 2 jobs right now in retail.
Vets. Victor, Echo,
Tango.
Echo.
You know, living on the mean streets, guns, drugs, and thugs, not to mention Catholic school and the supposed justice system. Then the towers tumbled and I awoke from my slumber one day to serve. My first air station was Afghanistan and I was vastly outnumbered, 100 to 1. It mattered that I wasn't a son. They weren't having it, and all I could do is prove that I did belong. I grew a thick skin and figured I would win if I just worked harder, longer, and faster than the next 10 guys. Gave 5 years to fixing helicopters, and then it was time to close that chapter. I moved up north to where the sun don't shine. They call it Portland, and now I call it mine. But when I first arrived, I felt alone with no help, until I looked into the eyes of fellow vets, and it reminded me of myself and what I couldn't see before. Until I was somewhere new, and now people could see me and how I felt and recognize some of what I had seen, and the anger and the mess of bad dreams. And in moments of weakness, we can find a deep strength to ask for help, and in the process regain a sense of ourselves and some of what was lost. In a war, so many wars, and at such a high cost, is a horrible thing that does horrible things to people. And if folks could just take a step back and appreciate the sacrifices of those who have served, they will never know what veterans have been through. And now I awake every day as a person who is making a difference for others who can never forget what they have seen.
Vets.
Victor, Echo, Tango. Tango started by telling me she was full-time Army National Guard when they got deployed to Balad, Iraq. An MP pulled convoy security for a year. Skid, bump, thud. Came home to find her marriage a wreck and her 4-year-old son saying, "Mommy, don't go back." She told me she knew then the military career she always dreamed of would never be. Mom first. Transition was hard. She tried to take advantage of the GI Bill, started school and a work study at the Portland Vet Center, helping combat vets like herself find a new normal. She told me she wasn't transitioning well, facing eviction, struggling with school, trying to hold it all down. She said that eventually she had to go inpatient at the VA Medical Center. That's when things really kicked in. The resources, networking, wrapped around like a blanket with a patient advocate and case manager, plugged into HUD, VASH, Wounded Warrior Project, and Project Odyssey, which is a week-long women's camp. She told me she went in with a goal of making one friend and left with 7. She told me she got healing in hearing the stories and trials of other vets, different eras, ages, ranks. She told me, she said, shit doesn't just roll downhill. It helped her to know she wasn't alone. She told me she's back on track, back in school, changed from psychology to statistics. She told me she could help vets that way, training to be a wounded warrior peer mentor. She also said, success? Success is learning your triggers, and that's a hit or miss process. The key to success is getting the help you need. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anything else. She told me, the VA is doing its job, you just have to know who to go to.
Transition. Movement, development, or evolution from one form, stage, or style to another. Transition. A vet is born when one steps from military life to civilian. The DAV is a labyrinth of services to 22 million vets. 22 mil and counting, finding their way through the maze of bureaucratic red tape, pseudo-military landscape. You know how this shit constipates. It's anything but easy. Fortunately for these bees, they've got a laundry list of strengths to draw from. Mission-oriented to get the job done, real-world experience that's proven.